Mm, it's that time. It's a Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock. It's that time. I was thinking to myself, I am due for a haircut. It's also time for that as well. We are due for a haircut. Maybe this weekend I'll get it done. We have been ripping and running to and from Houston because that's what we do. And so, last week we switched things up. We did this on a Tuesday, and I believe it has clearly got me a little off kilter because I kind of forgot I was doing this today. Like, I was like, wait a minute, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, 1 o'clock, HouJack DMS. We tune in live to share something that would be beneficial to you as a small business owner, but also if you're looking for moving forward in your career as a leader, then we are looking at competencies and we're discussing topics that would aid you in becoming a stronger leader. Like we talk about, if you will, the hard things. And there's nothing that I absolutely hated more when I was doing the full-time gig was the having a hard conversation. I don't believe conversations are hard. I don't. You just have to go in with the right intentions and be aware of your audience and be prepared and just do what you have to do, right? There is a way to communicate graciously that you get everything done. So there were never any hard conversations. Yes, it may impact somebody's life. Okay, take it back. When I had to do the "you are no longer working with us" conversation, that one was hard. Okay, so that's a hard conversation because you never want anyone to lose their job. You just don't. That's a hard one. Oh, it's 1 o'clock and they're testing the high wind alert system. It can freak you out because it's that time of year where we're getting a lot of severe weather. I know there was a tornado. I want to say that hit in Missouri today. Go and check the news later, but it comes on every Wednesday at 1 o'clock as well, beginning of the month, to make sure that it's working. And it's been working overtime these past couple of weeks, like bright as day. And then they're like, there's a tornado watch. And then it becomes a warning. I'm like, okay, let's take shelter. So let's get started because it is 1 o'clock. Again, my name is Gwendolyn. We are a career coach and digital marketer, small business owner, and a HouJack DMS is focused on providing quality digital marketing solutions for small businesses that are Black and brown, but any business. And then we have our career coaching because entrepreneurship is a career choice. And you don't stop learning when you start your business. Matter of fact, you may need to pick up more education when you start it. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite books, Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. Oh man, talk about amazing, absolutely amazing. Um, I don't know how many years old I was when I discovered Profit First, and I really, really wish I learned about it when I first started my business. It would have definitely changed some of the decisions I made and some of the roadblocks I hit. But it's never too late to make a change, right? And here we are in April. Taxes are due, what, the 17th? Is that what it is? The 17th or the 18th? I keep forgetting. Mine are done. So, I just like it's gone. But it's about that time for your state sales taxes to be turned in if you're doing that, your quarterly taxes. So if I had known then, so much better. For here we are, second quarter, beginning of the second quarter. And so if you want to get on the right foot for the remainder of the year, perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing because this is going to change your small business financial life. So let's go into what is Profit First. Let me just go with that because I have seen, and my husband, God bless him, I don't know how he finds all this time to send me this plethora of Instagram reels, but he does. And so he sent me one about maybe 2 weeks ago now, and it talked about how you need 5 bank accounts for your business. And it went to like, it was a very high level overview, and it gave percentages per account. And I thought, okay, I get where they're going. And I told the husband, like, surely you know your wife is already practicing this. Like, surely you know that. Um, but more importantly, there's a book that has been out that really goes deep into how to do the 5 bank accounts. And actually, it's seven. Wait, 5, 2. I want to say more like 8. I'll say 8. I mean, because I have 8, but what can I tell you? So it's bigger than just here's what you should do. There's a reason behind it. And when you explain the why behind it, that makes the biggest difference in how it's going to impact your business, because we have all done something. Now, I know in my personal life, we have done the envelope method. So it's very much like that, but it's better because now you're going to have, let's just say, the beginning 5 separate bank accounts to get your business in order. So, Profit First changes the way that you look at your sales and your profit. So, if you have done anything with profit, with a business, the standard is profit minus expenses. Nope, sales minus expenses equal profit. And so a lot of people don't see a profit in their business for like what, the first 4 or 5 years. If they make it to 4 or 5 years, a lot of businesses fail because a number of us start out with personal funding, right? You just don't show up and you're like, okay, bank, give me money for my business. I literally just started it, and I need funding. It doesn't work that way. You have to sort of prove something. If you're going to start anything, you're starting with whatever you have in your bank account. So a lot of us, unfortunately, start with our personal funding, personal bank account, and we stay there. We never move the money into, and Spencer is in the building. Hello, Spencer. I don't know. Is that a question or a high five? I'm trying to figure out. I know this emoji thing is new for YouTube, but it's like, I see a little man on my screen. But a lot of us start a business and we stay with the personal funding. We never break it out. We do this commingling thing. And so when tax time pops up, well, it's kind of hard because now you're trying to break out what things were personal and what purchases were business. And you have to do like this whole, it gets ugly, it gets really ugly. So a lot of us stay there for whatever reason. Some of it is fear. I believe a good chunk of it is just not knowing, just not knowing better. And a lot of times for a number of us as in business owners, which it takes a lot of gusto to create a business. We have a lot of pride, and asking for help is like, I will never ask for help. I would much rather drown in my sorrows before I ask for help. Well, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There is no need to even like pretend or make it seem like all is well. A lot of businesses, well, they are from job to job, the same way that some of us are living paycheck to paycheck. Same thing with the business. So it just continues. So if you don't break that cycle, some form or fashion, it stays there. So that's one. We stay with the personal funding. Now, the others who go into a business account, they're like, you know what? I'm going to break this up. I am going to put the business money here and the personal money here. But I'm going to follow, I'm going to say, a traditional mindset of I have sales, there's expenses, and then whatever is left, whatever that is, well, that'll be profit. And so you never see anything until, if you can make it 4, 5, 7 years in. That's a long time to be just barely breaking it for like your own household, right? So Profit First changes that. It's a change of mindset. It says, hey, we have sales, and I'm going to take my profit, and then whatever else is left will be for expenses. That's how we're going to do it. Now, and originally I thought, okay, well, this is different because it's not what I learned in class, but okay, I'll try it. I'll try it. And so those 5 accounts that you create, you actually just send this money out. So if you're old enough to remember, and Spencer, you may be old enough to remember this, the envelope method, right? You got an envelope for rent, you have one for like gas and water and lights, you have one for groceries, one for gas, like gas for your car, one for your auto loan, whatever. And so you have these envelopes and you only use the money in those envelopes for those reasons. So if you go to get groceries and all you have is 150, that's all you have is 150. If you got your rent money, that's all you have for the rent. So it's exact same idea, but you're using bank accounts. So there is a bank account for this and a bank account for that and a bank account for this. And so you move the money out. Because number two, some of our issues as small business owners, and I'm going to put this back into the education of an entrepreneur because we don't always, again, get all the info. We just start going for the gusto. We get a sale, maybe 10 sales. We get really happy. And then we believe that I have all this money to spend. And the fact of the matter is, that's not true. You have other bills you have to pay. All right. Forget if you don't even have any employees. You have other bills you have to pay. So all that money really isn't yours, right? So a lot of us will spend it. We will spend the money because it's here and I'm going to spend it. And now here we are at tax time. And I often wonder how many small business owners are prepared to pay that tax bill without having to go back into the personal funds or do something. If they have changed their financial habits and plans accordingly, like you do with Profit First, you're not worried about paying any tax bill anywhere because you already have that set aside and you don't touch that money, right? That's already there. That's the beautiful thing of this digital. And I hate to use envelope, but I know some of us are of age, so we've done it. But that's the beauty of having those individual bank accounts set up so you don't worry about taking money from something else. The money is there when it's ready to be there, right? So this talk real quick is more about a high level overview of Profit First. Now, a couple of what's the word? PSAs, asterisk. I am not a profit first professional. They do have them. You can hire somebody who has been trained in this. They are certified. They will walk you through this. I say do it. It's always a great thing to do that. The book itself, though, dun, 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 and I take off my cover. So, okay. But the book is where you want to get started. And once you read the book, very easy read, very fast, very easy. Once you read it, you're like, okay, great. Well, now I want to get started. And then it becomes, now I want to do like the next level. So let me talk to a profit first professional to really get it into gear. That's where you go. So I'm just going to give you my testimony. I'm giving you my testimony about how this has changed my business. Would I suggest you do it? You're doing all right. I'm going to suggest it because I don't believe in worrying. I don't believe in stress. I believe in peace of mind and nothing, in my opinion. Okay, well, there's a couple things, but knowing that the bills are paid for, at least for me, has always given me peace of mind, right? If knowing that your bills are paid for has given you peace of mind, put a one in the chat because, money can't solve all your problems. And people say more money, more problems. No, having more money can definitely give you peace of mind because you know that your bills are paid. So you feel pretty good that I don't have to worry about this being paid and that being paid because this job just came in and I can cover my rent, right? I don't have to have all the fancy things. I don't have to have a bottle of Cristal and everything else. But if my bills are paid and there's gas in the car and I can eat tonight, then I'm good, right? So it does give you peace of mind. So let's just start with number one. We talked about like what it is. So sales minus your profit gives you expenses. So whatever's left is how you operate your business. Now, on a high level of those 5 accounts, and like I said, it's really more like, I keep saying to 8, because I have 8. Don't judge me. You can have, you have many as you want, really. If you have 2 businesses, you're going to have like probably 16, but whatever. But the 5. So you have an account for income. You have an account for owner's compensation, if you will. You have an account for taxes. You have an account for tax. No, did I say taxes already? Okay, wait. Income, profit. Oh, that's the big one. Holy hell. Income, profit, owner's compensation, taxes, and then operating expenses. There you go. There you go. I actually have two for taxes. I have sales tax, and then I have one for self-employment tax. Right? But again, that's here nor there. Those are your five. I'm sure I say it right. Income, profit, owner's compensation, tax, operating expenses. Those are your five accounts. And so when you get your sales, they all go into your income bucket. This is, again, basic high level overview. They all go into your income bucket. And then from that bucket, from that account, you send money to all the other accounts. You send money to profit. You send money to taxes. You send money to owner compensation. You send money to operating expenses, right? So you send the money out, which means your income is going to be like an empty bucket because there's no money in there, right? That's where you start. So if you're putting money into your tax account, when it's time to pay either your state sales taxes or your federal income taxes, you've got the money because it's there. Now, I know what you're saying. Gwendolyn, ain't nobody, and I said it, ain't nobody finna have all these bank accounts because every bank account costs money to open. And what bank is going to give you all these bank accounts? It just so happens that when you need, you'll find the something. Now, not only have I researched every's a lot. We have researched many banks that have $0 monthly fees for small businesses, $0 monthly fees, because nothing eats up your profit, your income, or anything more than a monthly bank fee. We know that, right? We know it. So not only have we researched that, we have them. So we know it's possible. And I'm going to tell you something real quick. I'm going to go ahead and shout it out before I forget because sometimes I get to talking and whatever. But Relay, Relay, Relay is now the official bank for Profit First. It's pretty awesome. And I will tell you now, because we have researched it, they will let you open up to 20 business accounts, 20 business bank accounts. And they also have it set up that you can live your profit first life at Relay. So if you have the income account, you've got the operating expenses, the tax, the profit, all of it, you can see each of these individual accounts the way that you should because of your profit first life. That's the beautiful thing. That is one bank that has $0 monthly fee for a small business. There are others which I will throw into the community post, but is also posted on my LinkedIn and my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's out there. Like I have shared like the top four that I recommend. But if you want something, it can definitely be found. So I'm gonna go back to it again. I have not had any stress when it comes to paying my state sales taxes or my federal taxes because that money stays there. Now, the idea is, of course, to make it hard for you to get to. So, a lot of these banks are online only. I do have a savings account and a checking account with Chase because you want to meet or have a relationship with like your local bank. So, there's a credit union close to you that you have built a relationship, then by all means, keep that. Um, it's not a bad thing, but a lot of these banks are online only. And the good thing about the online only banks, for most of them, is that when you transfer money in and out is not same day. It makes you wait like a day, maybe 2 days to do that transfer. So that's good. But you want to make sure that you cannot touch this money. It should not be easy to grab and move it because you're going to think, hey, it's here. I should touch it. Now, when we say mindset and change of behavior, we mean that because there's nothing more enticing than to say, hey, I would love to invest in a new microphone. That's what I want to do. But in my operating expense account, which is how you operate your business, I'm down to $400. and I still have XYZ to pay. Hmm. But in the tax account, it's got like $2,000, but that's not for operating expenses. Mm-mm. If you don't have it to spend, then you don't get to buy it. There it is, right? So this is truly changing how you operate as a business owner and probably changing how you operate personally as well, because it really tests you that I know there's money in this business, but I cannot touch it because that is for profit, right? That is for taxes. This one's for self employment tax. I cannot touch this money. Can you? Of course you could, but why would you? The whole point of separating everything out is so that you have the money available to you when you need it. And the whole point of recognizing how much you're spending on your business is to say, maybe I don't need some of these extra things. Now, I have gone through my list of expenses again, and I found where I was duplicating efforts on the marketing side, not using things I paid for, missing the boat on canceling some of those subscriptions is absolutely agitating. So it's a different level of self accountability is what it is. And so holding yourself accountable, not touching that money. Oh, you're like, can I do it? Yes, you can, because I've done it for the past few years. I have done it and I'm happy. I really am, because I would like to invest in something. I'm like, I want to do it, but my OPEX account is telling me you are not allowed to buy another thing because this is where you are. I see the money over here, but it's not for those reasons. Can't touch it. So that's what I love about the profit first. I have profit. There's profit in this business. There's money there. There's money for me too. That's awesome, right? Now, the percentages that you give per each account, well, that's up to you. Now, in the book, and if you work with a professional, they will help you figure out what your percentage should be, right? Because it's different. Everybody's cost of doing business is different. If you don't know your cost of doing business, you definitely want to start there, and they make you start there too. But you should know how much you are spending on XYZ. And a lot of us, again, which goes back to why so many of us sort of don't last as long as we should. Okay, we call it, we fail. The business fails. We're sorry, it fails. We don't know our numbers. We don't know our numbers. Now, some of us have a new way of checking our checkbook. I'm old school. I still balance the checkbook every other Friday. I don't know about you guys. I know it's digital. I get that. I don't have a physical checkbook. I mean, I have a book of checks somewhere in this house the few times that it's requested from some state agency, right? But I don't have like the physical checkbook, right? So I am using my digital statement, but I still have to balance it. Like I still need to say this comes out, that came out, blah blah blah. Like everything's good. A lot of us operate that way. That if we can see the money, then we're good. If we can't see the money, now you have to know how money moves. Okay, so understand that. But I will also run my P&L. I need to see where this money's going, and if I can reduce cost somewhere somehow, then I want to. Now, when I started my percentages, it was just a shot in the dark. I just figured, well, let me try like 50% for operating expenses, and then let me break out this over here and so much for taxes. And I thought, ooh, I need to take out more taxes. Let me take out more taxes, right? But you can get to your target allocation with help from a professional, or you can do your own. But the idea is to find that sweet spot, right? And for some reason, as as they were talking the other day, when you start making money, all of a sudden we have more expenses. I don't know why that is. Right? We have more expenses for some deranged reason. You're like, I need to buy more stuff. It's like, no, you actually don't. You really don't. You just don't. So a couple of things. If you don't know your cost of doing business, figure that out. Look to see how much you're actually spending. If you haven't ever run a profit and loss statement, I would run that too, right? Because you want to know like how healthy your business is. Should say you want to know. You need to know. There are some needs. You need to know. Are we healthy or not? Are we like hemorrhaging? And how can we stop the hemorrhaging? And then I'm going to say lastly, why not adopt a profit first mindset? Put that in your business. Now, the other accounts that they talk about in the book, there is a profit hold and a tax hold. So you actually empty out these other two accounts to again make the money harder for you to touch so that at the end of a quarter, you can celebrate by giving yourself this extra boost, this extra bonus, right? It is really like a squirrel going out, connecting all the nuts and things before the winter starts. Like you're putting it aside. You're putting it aside. But the more you do it, I gotta admit, it feels pretty good. You're like, and this is looking really healthy. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. And I have never been so happy to pay my sales taxes. Like the bill for Texas should be arriving perhaps next week on the 10th. They tend to do it right around the 10th. It should be coming. And I'm always had to be like, and I'm going to pay this bill early. I think you get like a 50-cent discount for paying it the day they sent out the statement. 50 cents, woo! But that's money in the bank, baby. That's 50 cents I have saved. So I will take that 50 cents gladly. But I don't have to worry about, do I have this money to pay my state sales taxes? Do I have this money to pay the federal taxes, the quarterly taxes? There are no worries because that money is ready and waiting. And that's the beauty of changing your mindset, changing your habits, and living that profit first life. That is what is so beautiful about it. Now, let me get into a few more things before we wrap this up, because again, this is just my testimony. Um, I love it. If I could say anything to any small business owner, you want to go ahead and do this. And because we have already listed 4 banks, $0 monthly fees, they make it easy to sign up. There is no reason why you can't take $100 today and put a little bit of that 100, whatever you want to put in there, right? In each of those accounts and get this started today. There's no reason to not go ahead and convert. And I will say it again, Relay is the official partner with Profit First. 20 up to 20 business accounts, $0 monthly fee. And I want to say, because I have now opened my first Relay account. I got to go back today and open another one because I did it late last night. $1. You can put $1 in the bank and open it. Now I know y'all got $1. I know you got $1. I know you do. So I highly suggest to go ahead, adopt it, get in there, change your business life, and recognize how worry-free you can be because it's ready and waiting. And then also recognize the profit that you're now making because you are taking that in the beginning. You're not waiting 4 or 5 years. You're not trying to like break even. You're seeing the difference right here, right now. So those are my what's the word? I guess this is my pledge to you. I'm not gonna beg anybody, but I'm telling you, I'm highly suggesting. That's the word. Highly suggesting that you do this today to see a change in your business. Now, do you need an accountability partner? Well, you might. And that is why they have those profit first professionals. You have somebody who's going to help you go from base level to the tip top, right? Like that's where you want to go because you want to have a profitable business. You want to be around for as long as you can. And you want to stop relying on personal funds to fund your business. Been there, done that. And it's awful. It's awful. So there's nothing better than saying, here's my OpEx account. If it's not there, I can't buy it. So there will be no new mic. There will be no new mic. There's a couple of things I'm looking at. They're on the back burner. It's not going to be this quarter, maybe next quarter, right? So telling yourself no is how it goes. And I will say this too, before we wrap this up. And Spencer, you can do it because you can have a change in your personal ideas, personal financial ideas. When you start treating your business differently, because it's a matter of if it's there, I can't do it. I have to admit, it's a little bit harder because you're talking now, unless you can find a personal bank that lets you open up a gajillion accounts. Yeah, I'm working on that too. Because trust me, if I can find free, I'm finding free. We exhaust the free at HouJack DMS. We exhaust the free. But That started the let me create another account for the vacation fund, right? Like, let me create another account for this. Your entire life changes. Because if you can tell yourself no on this side, personally, you're thinking, well, I don't want to take on any more debt. I don't want to buy, okay, I would love to buy something new, another dress, another pair of this, another whatever here. But this account that I can shop and do whatever account is telling me you cannot do those things. So this will typically fall into your personal life as well. It all runs together. And there's nothing more than getting rid of debt. I mean, I gotta tell you, like when I paid off my student loan, I literally did pop a bottle of champagne. I'm not gonna lie about that. I was so happy. We were doing all the dances and we were drinking champagne, like never well, okay, I drink light anyway, but still, we were drinking the champagne, celebrating the moment. And I went out and got a new car. Okay. All right. So that is that is my testimony about Profit First. Absolutely love it. Will change your life. Please check out, again, we're going to put in the community tab the 4 banks that I highly recommend. I want to say it's Blue Vine, Relay, Grasshopper, and there's one more. These are all banks that cater to small business owners. They cater to small businesses, and every single one has $0 monthly fees for their checking account. And I want to say all but one requires $0 to open the bank account, right? So we are looking out for you. Like we're trying to make it as easy as possible. There is no need to struggle. We're going to do that. So thank you all for tuning in again every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're going to do a pestle analysis. Pestle, Pestle, pestle analysis, because the economy is looking kind of wonky right about now. Just like a little wonky. And so, yes, there is a SWOT analysis that looks at like your strengths and weaknesses and all those kinds of things. But a pestle looks at how the outside environment, right? Like the political environment, social, all those things. It looks at how those factors can impact your business. If you've ever been in any kind of management position where we talk about if this, then that, consider that a pestle analysis to be that type of mindset. If this, then that. Like what happens if this happens, right? Ooh, Lord, it's about time for it. Okay, that is me. See you guys next Wednesday. Enjoy your afternoon.